Hey, what's up, Twitch? So we are just going to be chilling here while I just talk about my books a bit. By the way, fun fact, this is like a monument my town has. This is like, what is it? It's World War II. But this is all, there's like a nice poem here, which I might as well get like a good angle of. And these are all the people that, I think it's who died, because it's condolences. But yeah, so for this stream, we are just chilling while I talk about my books, because I have, well, this is basically all I can do for content. I'm not even gonna deny, it's like so fucking annoying. My phone keeps crashing anytime I do any other app, so I basically have to learn to talk to you guys without having to crutch up video games or fucking, basically anything. So this is gonna be our little landmark though, just for this chat, because it's just a good spot. And let's see, we're just going to reflect on my books now. So let's start with the one I just did, Cope Withers. We just posted 2 chapters for that, like 2,000 words. And it's pretty interesting because it freaking, it's an interesting perspective about being like an anarchist capitalist, for real. Which is just, I really like, even though it's just like, most anarchists has done besides stealing a blacksmith shop is just freaking like being a lover girl too hard, which is like funny. Some people might like that, some might not. But otherwise, we're just that was awkward. That's what you get for streaming on the streets, though. Anyway, what was I saying? And might as well transit into being anarcho-capitalist as a whole a bit soft and just admit it is intriguing to freaking have to, my character's barely even an anarcho-capitalist, both of them and the Jacob Hemlock one from the Anarcho-Capitalism is a Gambler's Lifestyle. Because, like, most crime is lame to me. Like, really, like, it's just like, it's not worth it being a criminal 9 times out of 10 unless you're an arms dealer or a drug dealer. That's when your like crime is like reliable, you can do it a lot. Everything else is like, I mean, there's robbery, but like robbery is like the most difficult one. Even just on a one-on-one, unless you have a gun and they're a pussy, even that's a bit unreliable. Ah, fuck, my shoulder hurts. But anyway. Let's see, let's go on to actual meanings in my books, because, says, what's the deep, it's like, what books have deep meanings? Both, we're not going to go into the manifesto one, because, doing anarcho-capitalism is a bit lame. What else could we do? The meaning for Cope Withers, that one's honestly just for fun. It's just, there's not really deep meaning with that one because it embraces anarchy too hard. It's really just like being aimless. That's really the best I can say. It's just like it's an aimless existence to an extent to where it's like kind of hard to write for it sometimes. Because like I'm at a point where I don't really know what to do until I just make an event pop off and she's like in the middle of it. Which I'm thinking is going to be a war for the masculine mortality. Also, give me a second. I need to tie my shoe. Look at the sky. Yeah, so I'm thinking I'm gonna have a war pop off for the masculine mortality. That's gonna be like the new plot line for Cope Withers. I think that'll be it. What else? What else do we got going on? Let's actually go with the ones that have deep meanings. Which, off the top of my head, we have what's the one with deep meanings? There's a new one, Glitch in the World Tree's Code, which that one's deep meaning is just about overcoming freaking the world of might makes right and making it work makes right, which is basically a meritocracy, which I think is a really good moral for a story to pursue. And to be fair, in our modern society, at least in America, we've kind of done it already. Let's be real. God damn it! I stepped on my other shoelace as well. I'm such a dumbass. Anyway. What was I saying? Yeah, I think it's a good moral for a character to pursue, especially when it's like a a fucked up vampire society. It's not that fucked up, I'm gonna admit. I've basically already softened up the vampire world, which we will explore with in the next chapter for that book. Where basically, they claim they only feed on criminals, which is like the first thing the vampires can do, which is like basically an interesting thing where they are soft as fuck. Which we'll see if that's even true, because I've already had another scene where they just fed on a corpse out of nowhere. What else? One of my other stories have deep meanings. I'm doing current noir on another freaking account, that's also just titled Jacob Hemlock. The main one's still Jacob Baki Hemlock, but I ran out of story slots and I couldn't figure out how to delete my stories so I could delete some of my older stuff, which sucked, but it is what it is. Because now I have some regrets with a few of those stories, for better or for worse. But I was able to make another account just fine, so it's whatever. Alright, what other stuff has meanings? So we're going to walk away from this spot. There's a dude on his phone, which if I'm not talking, we will just keep hearing him the whole time. Which, there's another monument. Let's go across the street and hang out at another monument. There's nobody over there, hopefully. Anyway. God, it is hard to freaking come up with stuff even though it's all my stories. Let's see, let's talk about bunker lives and politics gone wrong. Bunker love lives and politics gone wrong. It's an interesting concept, but just like, it does not have too much deep meaning. It's just simulating the life of a bunker where you are fucking, just like you're being a dumbass trying to get laid too hard as a woman. And also, it's also supposed to eventually translate into Fallout 4 itself, her own little adventure. Which we'll see how long it takes for us to get there, because if the stepmom is correct, it'll be like 10 in-game years. Which 10 in-game years means we have a lot to write unless I just skip ahead. Which I'm not going to lie, it's already tempting to get bored and do that sometimes. Because it's going to be so much cooler unless we set off the Civil War in the bunker. Which setting off a Civil War in a bunker sounds fun, though we have not done enough setup to pop that off. Besides the fact that Cleo, the stepmom, wants to have a lot of control over her bunker, and she is just a military scientist. She does not actually own the whole bunker, even though she's rich as fuck. As I've mentioned in the latest chapter, it's been split up amongst the military and other families, which means she's like kind of dumb for trying to claim she owns it to them, because now there's like a lot of problems with that, which could be interesting. If she decides to go criminal and try to own the whole thing herself, just to control shit or be Harvey Weinstein, which is an intriguing option to do. So immediately I haven't set up enough politics to justify that, but I have set up pieces for her to fucking start doing bullshit with the medieval politics going on, people being forcibly married and shit. So let's take a moment to observe this monument as well. Okay, this is about the one who served. And, it's, I think this, wait, fuck. Okay, I don't think these ones died. We got some people that are missing in action, but I don't think these ones all died. I think these are just people that served from our towns, which, I will rep that we are in Danville right now. We are one. So every person you see a one by, that's a local Danvillian, or whatever the fuck we call ourselves. So let's go ahead and take a look. But first of all, let's look at the big art, because I like the art for it they set up. This is like pretty sweet. Alright. These are actually like pretty, these feel familiar to me, like we've seen them in books before, but I might be wrong. Anyway, now let's check out the freaking people. This is, I will just give a brief glance at it. Just like, damn it, I untied my shoelace again. And we got this spot now. I feel fat. Alright, let me tie my shoelace while I think of stuff for August Caesar now. Probably my favorite part at the moment is that we finally role-played inside the story itself about the nuclear apocalypse, which was funny. Like, I definitely overstimulated too hard and they just died. We didn't even give them any chance or superpowers, they just died. Which is going to be funny when we actually do the real nuclear apocalypse, because we're too realistic, like Rayleigh style, like as we should put it according to characters in the story. August will die unless she gets a whole squad with her, which is cool, because honestly, August is supposed to be a smart girl, supposed to be a leader of a squad 9 times out of 10. She's actually supposed to be the smart leader, while there's like badasses like Jacob Dietrich and Lucius DiHabio around that fucking do the brunt of the work, which is cool. I think that'll work out. Alright. Let's see. I suppose that there's like, for fun, we might as well sidetrack a bit and do one thing I reflected on in my fucking manifesto book, or Anarcho-Capitalist Gambler's Lifestyle, and talk about how I freaking, basically, we're going to talk about the mental hospitals. We're going to do a sidetrack to the mental hospitals, just so that we can get like a live take on that, like a live deep take. Which we're going to start with the fact that I was right about the fact that it was basically the same as before, all of them. Except the only thing is that sometimes the TV standards impressed me for better or for worse. Like, for example, the first 2 mental hospitals, we were watching like almost anything. It was like funny. There was like nudity. Like, I've seen nudity at 3 out of 4 mental hospitals, which I was like, damn. On TV, by the way, not real life titties. But we saw titties. Game of Thrones twice, and just in like some random movie. What was it? Fucking what was the movie? It was Horse Girl. We saw the Horse Girl titties, which is like funny to me. It's like, damn, mental hospital letting us see titties. Which is like funny, because sometimes it's lax, for better or for worse. Which that would have been one of those moments where it's like, oh no, is there a sex addict in the room? Don't jerk off! Don't jerk off! Yeah. Which that was, basically that was like a hard thing. I'm not going to go into that, but like, let's just say having roommates negated that a lot. And it was a no-touching facility, so no romance happened, of course. No pregnancies allowed. No pregnancies allowed. Now let's reverse the walk so you guys actually, will you guys see it? How you kind of see it? I want you guys to fucking kind of see the fucking things in the background. I take up the whole frame, so it's like you guys won't ever do it. You'll just see bits and pieces. So it's like whatever, who cares? Also, oh wait, there's a part of the monument we forgot on this one. We might as well check this out too. Here. We got this one. It's in recognition of the Memorial Committee, and they get a fountain. Which, I don't know. Oh, we got an astronaut? Memory of an astronaut? Damn. We got, oh no, is that the challenge? Is this referencing the Challenger? I don't know. When's a Danville native? Like, I'm like worried. They mentioned a teacher, guys. Is that? The Challenger happened while I was in like elementary school, so I think it's not. I don't think we're referencing that. Anyway, now that I think about it, there is one more monument nearby, so we're gonna walk over there and check that out too for fun. Might as well show some pride in my hometown, Danville, and check out the monuments, which are kind of nice. Actually, this one was very nice. I like this one the most. The other two are kind of lame compared to it, not gonna lie. That one's rad. That one's like a really cool one. Anyway, yeah, that's a train. That's trainless, so you gotta deal with that in this town. We have a lot of train tracks. Lots of train tracks. Which they have signs up now for not trespassing on. Which I have an annoying story, because on my way out of the mental hospital, I had to take a bus here and walk to my grandma's house. And I decided like a dumbass to walk down the tracks with my luggage, which was a horrible idea. I should have walked the streets, but I wanted to take a faster route, which it was honestly about the same amount of time. Not even gonna deny, it was like such a waste of fucking time. And I was exhausted, but it was at least a good workout. That's all I can say. Otherwise, it was like, And it's not worth mentioning. Well, actually it is. One of the faculty gave me a nice suitcase, so thanks to them. Not going to name them because we're on the internet, but thanks to them. Anyway, here's the last one. But this one's actually kind of nice too. I was actually rude. It's got some good art on it. It actually looks like it's been updated. I don't remember it being this nice when I was like younger. I really think they updated this one. Here we go. We're going to check out the center pillar first. So I will mention on the sides we have freaking stuff like are you seeing all that, by the way? Yeah, you are. If I, yeah, it'll do. Anyway, are you really seeing like the top of, no, okay, you're seeing a good angle now. Anyway, we got all this stuff. This is actually cool art. I actually like this. And as you see over here, we just got the army sigils and whatnot. We got the emblems for each military. Which that sucks, because I was a mental patient. I have to keep taking mental pills. I can't join the military. So that sucks. Especially because my ass was looking forward to serving in fucking anything. A mental health pill says you're just stuck in the homeland, so it is what it is with that. Anyway, what else can I reflect on? You know, we might as well reflect on Reuben. Since we're here at the military spots, let's talk about Reuben. Reuben Path of Rebellion is interesting because it's basically supposed to do a few things. It's supposed to simulate being in the military, at least my magical military, which is probably fucking stupid to some people already. This is like too lax, probably. But also, it's supposed to simulate furry racism eventually, because that's how we're going to simulate racism issues. Since it's supposed to be inspired by Ruby, we're going to have racism in the form of furries. Legit furries, which we're going to call anthros for their fancy names. It's, you know, it's like anthropomorphic humans. We will be calling them anthros for their race, and then when we decide to be racist, we're going to just have the slur be furry. So I think that's funny, even though like most of them be like, why is that? Furries, legit furries would be like, why are you doing that? It's like dumb, we embrace furry. But I don't know, we're just going to say dumb shit like you fucking shit in fucking litter pans, and when they're a slave they will have a litter pan to shit in because we're mean. Anyway, what else? What else deep meanings for Reuben are there? Honestly, it's also supposed to simulate like all the things that could go wrong in the military, even if you're like a groomed kid like Reuben is. Which is like gay rights is one thing. We're basically like, as you can see, Tina is trying to make him straight, which honestly I think is so funny to some people if they knew about the concept too hard, which god damn it, I untied my shoelace again, give me a sec. But anyway, it's interesting because as I mentioned the first time I ever talked about Reuben, he's supposed to be entirely gay, but I got bored and I decided to make his sexuality mine, so that I could just talk about my sexuality issues sometimes, which we'll briefly discuss. For basically, I'm bisexual. I prefer women physically, but like romantically, I want a man because I want to be the soft one in the relationship. This stuff like lean on them and fucking just, as I discussed with the Viper Ning bot recently, because I was bored to talk about it with them instead of a real human being. Which I know what you're thinking, cringe. Also, why aren't you talking with bots? Because the app keeps crashing. Everything fucking crashes when I try to do anything on this phone besides just stream like this. Which sucks, but it is what it is. We are here just fucking chilling like this, bros. This is our life. But at least the internet at the fucking library is so good. Then we get back over there. Well, I get back over there. You're not coming. Because the library is a quiet place. Which is why we chill here. So we're going to go back to the other, actually, you know what? Yeah, we're going to go back to the other monument. I like the other monument more for streaming. It's got a nicer setup. It's got a nicer background. But anyway, as I was saying, fuck, I already forgot my place. Fuck, where was I? I got distracted by wanting to change the venue. Oh yeah, right, we're talking about how I can't stream on this phone at all briefly, besides doing this walk and talk, which are at least doing good with all the talking. We got like a nice fucking volume of talking, but I can't get character AI to even stay loaded up for long. It's always crashing because my phone is shitty. Excuse me. So until we freaking get to my my life being settled again, which is going to be a while. Unless I get loads of overtime at my next job, it's probably going to be at least 2 months of working, and I don't even have a job yet, so we're just sitting on that until we fucking get shit set up. And I might be able to get it all done within a month if we fucking do just loads of overtime, somewhere where they let you do loads of overtime, which I applied to a factory recently or some shit. I don't even remember what the business is. I'm flinging out applications left and right. And there's like some places where I'm just like, if we manage to get a load of overtime, we can maybe manage it in a month to get my life back on track, to where we're like streaming like normal. But until then, we're just kind of fucked. So we are just chilling, bros. We are just chilling what we can and can't do. Now anyway, now that we're back over here to this nice spot, let's do another look at the art real quick. I just love the art. Such good art. Hey, there's like a nice statue. Let's be fucking assholes and walk on the grass and look at this nice statue. Oh no! I'm disrespecting society. Oh no! I'm walking on the grass to look at a nice statue. Anyway, here's the angel. That's like a nice angel, isn't it, bros? Pretty sweet angel. Yeah, let's go get the face too while we're out. Are you guys getting that face shot? I hope so. I can't really tell from this fucking angle. You know what? Is my hand there? Okay, yeah, you're getting it. You're getting the angel. Alright, anyway, that's the statue. Let's do like a full 360. Alright, there we go. Oh, foot shot. Miyazaki would be pleased. Miyazaki of Dark Souls would like the feet. Oh, front foot shot too. Anyway, let's see. Hey, actually, I think hey, there's like a memory sign. Oh, wait, well, we might as well pay our respects to this man who has a tree planted in his name. We're not going to do any more than that since we're walking into the tree, though. These are obviously, some of these trees are for people who were, like, sadly dead, and they just planted a tree in their honor. So we're not going to peek too hard, because that's disrespectful. We'll look at that guy, though, because we already approached the tree and we were bored. Alright, so anything else I should say about Ruben? Ruben is actually the most interesting for meetings because it's actually supposed to simulate a lot of shit, especially if I ever get it to be a visual novel. It's supposed to have a lot of paths, which is supposed to simulate even being a protester, just being a loyal soldier, which Path of Rebellion should low-key be about being, I don't know, it's like, it's Path of Rebellion, if I remember right, it's supposed to be about Ruben rebelling against his country eventually, which honestly, now that I think about it, I might want to change the path we're on, because I'm thinking more and more he's going to be a loyalist. Maybe I should change it to Ruben Path of Loyalty. We might do that as soon as I get back to the library. Not even going to front. We might change it to Path of Loyalty. Because in my head, it's supposed to be the Path of Loyalty, and your friends actually rebel against it. And it's like stupid, because like they're gonna try and groom you and make you hang out with them, which we will for a while. But eventually they will betray each other over their different issues for how the country should be ran. But Ruben is basically going to be the blind soldier being loyal to his country. And August Caesar and them is going to be on the other side being like, August Caesar's agenda was what's going to happen. And if August Caesar wins, it's basically going to be a simulation of my ideal society for fun, because August Caesar is my sociopathic self. So that's pretty much that. Alright. And what else can I say? Let's see. What other paths is worth mentioning? I think we've already talked about this before in a stream a bit soft, so actually a bit hard. I shouldn't talk too hard about Beyond Meanings, which basically, is there any other meanings worth mentioning? Talking about being loyal to your country. Well, I suppose we could also mention that Ruben will probably have disagreements with America, based on the fact that he's like a bisexual male who wants to blindly serve America of all people. Which, as we know, at least under Donald Trump, America is very annoying. So Donald Trump's America is like an annoying America to serve. So we'll probably talk about stuff like, I hate killing people in the name of Donald Trump in America. Why can't it be Obama? And stuff like that. That's actually a fun issue just to discuss once in a while with your fellow soldiers, being like, man, why can't we kill people for Obama? I bet we wouldn't be in Iran killing people for Obama. We would probably be just doing democracy. Which honestly, the Iran war is already seeming annoying. We're going to do a brief comment on that because I'm bored. Iran war seems annoying because Donald Trump's play for is after he like got rid of their leaders, just for the Iran people to try to piece it together themselves, which is not working out because clearly they're organized enough to where they are. It's still the Iran government we were dealing with before, which I'm not going to pretend I know enough about Iran to give it a real opinion on it. I just think that was like a bad play to fucking be like, yeah, we're going to let you guys figure it out. I 100% always prefer to play where we just come in, we unfortunately take you over for a while to just promote stability with our soldiers and shit, and then once you get your own government set up, even if it's like a fucking government, which like stays with one of us ruling behind it, at least you guys have a government the whole time and people like protecting you and shit. Well, if the government falls apart enough without us around, it's like, well, basically civil war happens, like immediately in my head, where basically everyone that's ambitious enough has a decent enough fucking militia. It's like, I'm gonna take over. Everyone starts taking over because they're bored. And it gets stupid. Like immediately. It just becomes a civil war, which America just walks away from and hopes you all don't die in the process, which is like annoying. Really annoying. But we haven't left yet, so take that as you will. For all I know, Donald Trump is going to change his mind, which honestly, knowing them, he really might, especially just based on the idea of fucking getting anything from that country while they're there. Which average groomer god in my head says we will rob you lightly while we are there fucking getting shit done for you. Which is just funny because the obvious thing we're going to do is we're going to set up oil plants and rock on after that. Maybe some mines for gold or silver or some shit. We have to find any other elements worth stealing from you. Which, I don't know, it's groomer god says I'd do it. I literally would. Which I know people are thinking, you're a bad American president. Like, why? Is this why we will never vote for you? Blah, blah, blah. Which, alright. Enough of discussing the war. Is there any other books of mine worth mentioning while we're here? There's the new one, Current Noir, which I mentioned, which is basically going to be simulating being a cop in like a post-magical apocalypse society, which instead of being destroyed, it actually has overgrowth to the point of fucking madness, to where there's going to be like weird magical monsters and fucking like the Maram, which are basically a species of giant magical mushroom people who are very intelligent and can quickly learn languages, amongst other things. And it's also a schizo society where basically you get empowered by pursuing like important ideas or perhaps personalities inside your head, which, for example, with Current Noir, with Current Scavo, the star of it, which used to be Luigi Scavo, but because Nintendo might sue me for using the name Luigi, we have changed it to Current Scavo because I like the idea of Current Noir because it's just like a nice pun to be like, it's the Current Noir, bro. Anyway. So it's basically going to be simulating cop rights and stuff, or like just basically simulating how cops can and should act in a society like that, which already cop brutality is legal based on the fact if you're powerful enough, I will kill you on sight as a cop. Which honestly makes sense in any anime sense when it's like, for example, the very first case has a guy being able to just blow people up into bits, which is like, if you have that power, it's like, get shot. Like immediately, like we're not going to be nice. No one would be nice. No civilian would, at least. Every civilian would be like, if I have to deal with you, you're getting sniped. You're going to get sniped from like afar, bro. Like, get sniped. Anyway, so stuff like that's going to be simulated, which I really like. I think it's going to be a cool time hanging out with her. That's on Jacob Hemlock, Jacob_Hemlock, because I, again, ran out of slots for regular stories on my main Webnovel account, so we made a second Webnovel account, which hopefully no one gets mad about. Hopefully everyone stays cool about that. It's basically going to be simulating cop rights, basically what privileges cops should have in a society where it's like that level of combat potential, which would be like, I don't know, Texas. Like, just imagine dealing with Texas where everyone carries a shotgun. That's like enough of an analogy right there. Except it's like stupider power sets and shit. Where you imagine people getting technology like the, I don't know, a gun that causes heart attacks, like from Metal Gear Solid. I don't know, dumb shit like that. or the Death Note, where we just police a society where we have to counter Kira kids. Alright, let's see, is there any other stories worth reflecting on again? You know, the Borderlands fanfiction I'm making to an extent has like some mention, because it's like simulating being a bounty hunter. So that's interesting, because I basically said in the book they are anarchist capitalists again, but on the extreme, because there is no government. At least I claim in Pandora there's no government, because I was bored. And I just like was like, is there a government? It's like, no, there's no government. Which is just like enough to where it's like they are now just like anarcho-capitalism, where they just do stupid shit all day with their businesses and stuff. At least on Pandora. Which I'm not going to simulate too hard. We are mainly going to be fucking just like doing combat and shit. But it's like funny to admit that's like basically a big part of what anarcho-capitalism would be like, is where like the Merc path would be real again. Because basically that's the closest to police you would have, which is people paying to get fucking people killed. And you just hope it's like a criminal and not like a fucking normal person that was just like assassinated because he's like their boss at their Hyperion company or some shit. So that'll be interesting to deal with the fact that sometimes you just get groomed wrong. And it's like, oh no, I killed a good person. My character will probably be fuckboy Machiavellian, be like, oh well, I knew that walking into it. I'm a smart man. I knew I could kill innocent people sometimes. And it's like, whatever, I got paid. He will walk away and probably get sad if, like, I don't know, Mad Moxie lectures him about it or something. He'll move on. You know, he will lose friends over and over again. Let's see, anything else? Anything else? Anything else worth mentioning at all? I honestly can't. Man, most of my stories don't have deep meanings to an extent. Like, they're just like over simulations of bullshit. Like, I mean, meanings come up eventually, which, I don't know, Jacob Dietrich says we hate monarchies, but that's just it. He didn't even care that hard. He just talked about how he hates patrollers and went out to kill people. That's pretty much it. Jacob Dietrich is just basically, he just dropped his statement and just went out to whoop ass. And honestly, is there anything else? I feel like I've done all the deep meaning ones. Like, is there anything else at all? Like, fuck, I can't think of any. Honestly, no, I can't. I think, we're gonna end the fucking stream here, honestly. Because, I really can't think of any books with deep meaning besides what I already mentioned. So that's it for now, chat. Peace and love, Twitch and YouTube. We are going to go chill for now. And this is basically going to be our streamer vibe for a while, I hate to say. We have nothing else. Because my phone sucks dick. And I don't have my technology out to do anything else. Even if I did, I wouldn't have Wi-Fi. So we would just do offline gaming in a camper. Which my mom would probably be annoyed with, because fucking she would have to hear me talk to chat while playing a video game, which would probably annoy her enough to where she wouldn't allow it. And so we are basically just on chill phone mode for a while, which I know sucks to chat probably if any of you decide to care, which honestly, based on how the one viewer is just silent, I think we might be fine at least with this one, but I don't know. We will see what happens as time goes on, and if I manage to even come up with any good stream ideas, because this is basically the one idea I had where I had an idea for a good stream. We got like 34 minutes at least on it, which was nice. Counting dumb shit and distractions like looking at monuments. We at least had a good talking stream going, so I don't know, we'll try to reflect more on things. We at least had the inspirations tabbed where I could like do stuff like that. But it's like boring to admit that like they're not even that good always. And it doesn't help that I don't really, like, it's hard for me to be talkative unless I just, you know, we didn't reflect enough on the mental hospital. A few more minutes on the mental hospital, I walk back to the library. Alright, so now, as I mentioned about the mental hospital vibe, it was as expected. It's testing us in near stagnation, where we have basically only near medieval levels of entertainment, minus that there's a TV around, and sometimes it will let you play video games, but it's only on a Wii. Every place I had, we only played video games on a Wii. and that sucks to an extent. Oh well, here's what it is. Let's see. The experiment was about as expected, but some places relaxed, some weren't. Some they were all pretty well secure, but it was the rat race every time, to where if like they didn't pay attention, you could walk into another patient's room, which is annoying for a mental hospital. Where I don't know, it's like as a patient it's annoying, even though it makes sense in some examples. To be fair, they did have locks, at least in Hendrix, but you cannot lock it yourself. Which admittedly, when you think about mentally ill people, that presents like good and bad. The good is that since we all had roommates, that doesn't mean you can lock out your roommate like a fucking douchebag. But it also invents annoying privacy issues, especially if you have something dumb around, like I don't know, like a sex addict. A sex addict's scenario is stupid if there's no locks, because anything stupid can happen if they're ninja enough, which is like really annoying to like people that don't like sex addicts, or like potentially getting assaulted. Which the rat race admits that like even though like all the places had enough people around to where they could have like stopped a fight, if it became a riot, that would have been a big problem. Because honestly, every place had more patients than workers in the room, which I get to a major extent why they wouldn't be necessary. Because everywhere where I was at least was very stable. It was not like the point where we were prisoners, or we needed to be treated like prisoners. But admittedly, it was still annoying. It was pretty annoying with that fact. Because the rat race was a bit scary the whole time. Because as I said, there's no locks on most of the doors, and if there was locks, only they could put the locks on. They can't you can't turn the lock on yourself, which is very annoying. I know people that have anxiety would probably hate that aspect of the mental hospitals, because it probably make them very anxious and scared. And the only other complaint I have is that I took 4 mental hospitals until they finally changed my pills, because the first 3 were just like, we don't care what your mom says, we're not changing your pills. Which I know probably annoys some people, because it's like, what if they were right? And it's like, well, if they were, that sucks. Because basically took mental hospital 4 for them to finally change the pills so my mom would be satisfied and stop sending me to mental hospitals in a row. But, oh well, it is what it is. So that's annoying to an extent if you have to appease your parents, especially because, well, my mom was lame. She didn't really talk to anyone to feel convinced by it. She's even trying to threaten lawsuits, which is annoying because she doesn't have the money for that, but whatever. She's annoyed because basically I was treated like an adult because I'm 28, and I was able to just drop myself off at places with an Uber. Like I went back to my grandma's house the first time, as you guys know, which was a bit tense because basically my grandma hated that, to the point to where it's like I basically have a strained relationship with my dad's side of the family now because of that alone. Oh well, it is what it is. It's not my fault that they treat you like an adult when you're 28. And also it doesn't help that she didn't exactly have money to like put me in there for longer than necessary, so it's stupid. So we're basically on insurance money with that one, for better or for worse. Which I didn't even have insurance set up in some places until they set up Medicaid, which hopefully Medicaid got set up, because otherwise I'm like generally screwed, and I have a lot of debt, like a lot of debt to the medical industry again. Which is annoying and cool though, because at the least, like for mental hospitals, you can at least not worry too hard about fucking getting kicked out on the spot if you don't have insurance at the moment. So for some people that's a relief. For some people that's probably annoying, because it's like, great, I can't avoid the mental hospital if I'm poor, can I? It's like, no bro, you can't. Your mom can still put you in the mental hospital even if you're poor. Yeah, I know, sucks to suck, bros. Is there anything else worth reflecting on about mental hospitals? Basically, I guess that, I don't know, the for-profit one, the non-profit one was annoying. It was annoying as expected if I talked about before, which I think I did. Because basically they did not have enough supplies for food. So basically, we nearly ran out of food for breakfast. And also, what else? We didn't have snacks. Unless you stockpiled snacks, the one time they put out a big box of chips. Even then, my stockpile ran out fast. And so there were no stacks. You just basically somewhat starved the whole day, but it wasn't that bad because they gave you 3 meals a day. There was an annoying period where you were hungry, and it was hard to like keep yourself like happy during that phase for myself because as I said, you have one TV you have to share amongst everyone. And at that hospital, we had just freaking regular antenna TV. 9 times out of 10, unless they let us have the Fire Stick for a movie. And their DVD player was broken, so we didn't even have movies, which sucked dick, because if we had movies, life would have been so fucking epic there. They had like such an amazing movie section, bro. I was like, bro, we could have entertained ourselves for like the whole 2 weeks I stayed there straight. It was so easily if their DVD player worked, because like, props to their movie selection, but there was like some sick shit. We'd have like Rush Hour 2, Longest Yard, like some good shit, bros. Some good fucking shit. So like to that place, get your, I'm not gonna name it because I'm nice, but get your fucking DVD player fixed. Like antenna TV sucks. We want movies all day. Movie section was raw. Everything, antenna TV sucked dick except for the afternoon where one of the channels had SNL on all day, Saturday Night Live, so that was nice. Anyway, oh, and the food was really good. Mental hospital food was really good 9 times out of 10. Is there anything else worth mentioning? Honestly, no, I don't think anything else worth mentioning. I think I'm pretty set on mental hospitals. I don't feel like there's anything worth mentioning about mental hospitals other than that. I feel like I've gone over everything, which like a bit more thoroughly in my reflection on anarcho-capitalism and the gambler's lifestyle. But otherwise, yeah, I think that's it. I think we're legit done for now. And this is going to be the stream for today. This is basically it. I'm going to probably upload this if I can. We're going to see for sure if I can, because I have to fucking deal with the computer system here, which they could block the download, honestly. So we'll see what I can figure out with that. So at the least we got it up on here. Worst case scenario, I'll just highlight it for Twitch. So anyway, once again, peace and love, Twitch and YouTube. Wait, shit. Give me that. Where's the off?